So how did it all start? It started in 2013 when we had a minister who decided that it was time to also focus on social innovation instead of only focusing on tech innovation, typical business innovation. So she really stood out and she said, okay, I also want to support an organization that strengthens social innovation throughout Flanders and Brussels. That's the thing with Belgium. We are very much divided. I'm a Belgian, but our ministries are divided. So it's Flanders and Brussels. And there was like a call and organizations could apply to become this center. And it was a great consortium that stood up, and they together applied to become to establish this new organization that then was called Sociale InnovatieFabriek, Social Innovation Factory. And so in the beginning, it was really focused on social innovation, systemic innovation, and our minister was inspired by the European evolutions. There were other countries also starting to have attention for social innovation. So that was great. It immediately started in a very international surrounding, I must say. And then, it goes, ministers come and go, the political parties change, so policies change. And while in the beginning we were very comfortably subsidized by our government, that changed. A new more right-wing government came, and then we still have support, and we are thankful for that support from the Flemish government. But now we are subsidized as one of the service providers for boosting entrepreneurship. And we have the focus on social entrepreneurship. So in the beginning, 2013 till 2016, 17, it was really social innovation, systemic innovation, lots of contacts with people across Europe on that topic. And then we had to switch more, focusing on social entrepreneurship, social enterprises, what are their business models, blah, blah, blah. But we, during all those 11 years that we exist now, we had always this clear mission that we exist to support, to strengthen social innovators and social entrepreneurs. And that's our main goal. Those who have impact in, amongst others, Flanders and Brussels. So that's they impact societal challenges in Belgium, as poverty, loneliness, inclusion, the regular stuff. What was I saying? Sorry.
No problem.
So, our main goal is strengthening social innovators, social enterprises, so that they can boost their impact to, in the end, change, to bring solutions for the societal challenges we have. And we do this by having programs for social innovators. I'm just going to call them innovators. So we have these programs, group programs. We work with cohorts for innovators, startup phase, scaling phase, sometimes thematical groups we form, like we have now groups on in healthcare, group in social sportive actors, and we have one-to-one support sessions too. We are very, very open network, so we don't work with memberships. It's really our choice not to work with memberships, to be an open network where everybody can always come in, and it doesn't matter what. Yes, as long they can come
of course.
in, use our services, as long as they are working on solutions for societal challenges. And it doesn't matter if they work, if it's just a private initiative, or if they work for government, or if they are academics. We don't care.
Yes.
As long as they bring innovative solutions. So we strengthen them, and to be able to strengthen them, that's our first main goal is strengthening. Second goal is to ever intensify the supportive ecosystem around the innovators. We have a lot of meetings with philanthropists, with policymakers, with corporates and so on.
Yeah.
Also with, I always call them the people with the positive midlife crisis. I love them. We have a lot of people coming by.
Good.
And they say, of course, I'm 50 or 50 plus, and they say, I'm not 50 plus yet.
I guess so. I guess so.
So, but those great people with their positive midlife crisis come to us and they say, I have all this experience. I have this huge network, and I really want to use it useful. I want to make sense of it. What can I do?
Oh, I love the concept of a positive midlife crisis. I hope that's what
Yes.
happened to me. It sounds amazing.
Yeah. It's I want to have positive midlife crisis every week.
Exactly. Yeah, all the time. Quarter life crisis.
Yeah. And then we connect. It's really goes like this, that someone just calls me or they contact me through LinkedIn or through Instagram or whatever. There are so many platforms where they can reach us, me and my colleagues, and they say, okay, I have this to offer. We call them the enablers, the kansengevers in Dutch. Enablers, we have our CRM system with all these enablers in. And then we know, okay, we have this innovator that exactly needs what you have. Chup, connection is made.
Yeah.
That's all behind the scenes. We can't communicate about it on our website because that's a bit tricky, because then it might be like a promise. If you contact us, you will be connected. Of course, we do all our efforts to connect as much as possible amongst people, amongst organizations, all to boost social innovation. We inspire enablers, we inspire new networks, and we make all these connections. That's the second main goal. And then our third main goal, and then I'm finished. Third main goal is putting spotlights on social innovation. And yeah, we do this by the regular communication channels, like we have our newsletters, we have social media, and we also have our every second year, I don't know how you say it in English, tweejaarlijks.
Biannually?
Yeah, biannual, voila. Our biannual campaign called Radicale Vernieuwers. We were actually inspired for this campaign by Nesta in the UK and Kennisland in the Netherlands. They are members of Euclid. So to have this campaign where we make it very visible that there are a lot of change makers, that everyone can contribute, can bring positive solutions, and it's now going on. We just had the all the applications, 163. And such a beautiful cases.
So good.
Yeah, and they are all valid applications.
I didn't even know that was a possibility. Incredible.
Yeah, and there are only like 6 million people here. So, and what they are doing, beautiful things. I've been crying when I was reading it. I was like, oh, it's so good. And sometimes you have this. That's the great thing about working at Social Innovation Factory and and at Euclid, and that you have the opportunity to learn so much about positive change makers, but also about the problem that they are tackling. I was like, yeah, it's true. This is when I was reading the application, it's so true. This is a problem, and nobody was taking care of it.
Exactly.
But you do.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we have this campaign, Radicale Vernieuwers, and then it's picked up by media, and we make sure that and we put them just at the front row of the stage, just on the podium. Here it is. So that's also a very important thing what we do. Oh, and for the first and second goal, so the strengthening of social innovators and the boosting the ecosystem, we also have our annual conference, System Shakers it's called, and that's also a very important thing to do, we see, because people meeting each other physically, it gives so much magic. And they're all open-minded people there to be connected, and that works well. Yeah, and aside of this, we are also doing a lot of other things, like we are in different international projects, programs. We, of course, ever build our own knowledge about financing instruments, or and we spread. One of our values is to be very generously sharing everything. So what we learn, we spread it immediately.
Oh, that's amazing.
Okay.
Indeed, I think that's a quality that exists in our ecosystem, where there's not that, indeed, selfish sometimes or economically sane idea of keeping something for yourself. I think it's a very sharing and very open community. It's something I really appreciate.
Yes.
And
yes.
yeah. Going back to something that you said, I found it very interesting. I don't know if you want to talk about it, but I found it very interesting that now, as I understood, the funding that you receive from the Flemish Brussels government, they sort of perceive you, or you're treated as equally as someone supporting entrepreneurship rather than social entrepreneurship. And how is that relationship? Because obviously, as we know, there's a difference between social entrepreneurship and just entrepreneurship in terms of results, in terms of goals, in so many ways. So how is that relationship?
Well, actually, we are lucky that we have the nicest civil servants taking care of our our organization and the subsidy they give to us, and they understand us very much. So they are actually an ambassador for us in the whole system of the government. Yeah. And they always come to our activities, and they're like, give us the examples, and we want to share it with the other colleagues. So that's, it's not that difficult to tick the boxes that the government wants in their policy on supporting entrepreneurship, because we have, amongst all the people that we support, we have enough people being that can be conceived as very entrepreneurial, and that can be conceived as, okay, they are starting up or scaling an enterprise, and we can provide them with the minimum data on, okay, they are important for our economic system because they provide job opportunities. That's how the government is looking at it. They want to boost entrepreneurship because they want more jobs in Belgium, more productivity. So that's the thing. But I always think, okay, and we report them every 3 months. We have quarterly reports to the government, and we report about them. But I always have I can't help it. We report so much more than they actually want to know. We report also on the systemic innovations. We report on that we gathered a group of great innovators to be part of a sounding board for new policy in food, for example. So we also report all that. But the thing is that officially they are not interested in that part. And officially they support us for this part of the work we do. And we are we are doing it well. Check. But we sometimes are like, oh, hello, we do so much more. And it would be great to have more attention on social innovation. It was, of course, it's a huge difference if you have a minister that says, I want to support social innovation. And I subsidize an organization that strengthens it, and there was also a specific call for social innovations to also get subsidies from the government. Now it's more spread. There are different programs, and the good thing is that they find us to be inspired when they are writing new kind of programs, new calls, and we get opportunities to interact with a lot of policymakers on the different thematical topics too. But it has changed. The relationship has changed, but still it's okay. And of course, it's most of the organizations that we support are non-profits. Their legal structure is a non-profit, an NPO, and in that part of the government that subsidizes us, they are really much used to work with profit.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's a bit education that we do. We educate the government. And how we do that too is actually we also.
That is so important. That it's something incredible that you do. We have the Social Enterprise Monitor at Euclid Network, and indeed, political support is something often that the social entrepreneurs say that they're lacking. So educating the government is so important.
Yes, and it's very important for their impacts. I always say to innovators, you are ahead of legislation. When they say, yeah, but there's no legal framework for it. No, it's not, but you're an innovator. Wow, you're pioneering. Just do it. And okay, it's not very legal now, but it will become legal. Show the new examples, show that there's a need for this new kind of approach, and show it, learn, educate the civil servants, educate policymakers. And we see that happening. Yeah. It's a very interesting question. I can talk about it like hours.
And where do you see Sociale InnovatieFabriek in 5 years? How do you see things evolving?
What I feel now is that there will be again more international exchange. So I see Sociale InnovatieFabriek evolving into more international programs and also offering the international opportunities to the innovators in Flanders. I think it's important to tackle challenges here, but most challenges exist also in the other countries. So there's a great opportunity, I think. And yeah, I really hope that we will be more and more successful in bringing social innovation from margins to mainstream, and that it's not, I really, really hope, and it has already changed a lot. Really, in the beginning, it was like, what? Social innovation? What? Social entrepreneurship? Oh, nobody ever heard of it. In 2013, that was really, it was sometimes a disaster to talk about it. Now, in our now there are more and more circles. If you see the people, the ecosystem in circles, there are more and more circles that have notion of it, that feel, that think it's interesting, but to spread more and more, wider and wider, and that it's no longer like, well,
exactly.
So, and for that, the visibility is important. Brings, and I see that actually our biggest added value, and I hope my colleagues don't blame me if I say that, but our biggest added value now in Belgium, and I think it will increase in the upcoming 5 years, is the fact that we have this ever-growing network and the connections that we keep on making. And we are all the time brokering for social innovation, and that's always, if you can connect the two right people with each other, it's like really accelerating things. So that's the thing that's very important to us. And we also we are lead partner of the INSIST consortium. It's the ESF program on competence centers for social innovation. the program just started, and in 3 years it will end. And we, of course, have to be a very, qualitative, nice, generous, competence center for social innovation. So that's also a thing I'm really excited about, to have more opportunities to, like our knowledge management. In some years ago, we really were only too much focused on giving workshops for the social entrepreneurs and up programs. And now we have to give ourselves some more oxygen, and also having more time to interact with likewise organizations in other countries, to learn from each other. That's the thing I really hope in 5 years. And I see it more international than now. We are based in Brussels, and
exactly the best place.
Yeah, it is.
And I hope Euclid Network can support you in that mission. I think definitely this connection, this partnership will be great to connect you with other European organizations that are doing the same job. And that is a perfect follow-up for my next and last question. When did you see that was relevant to join Euclid Network?
Well, actually, I already saw it, I think, in 2015. And shame on us that I think we actually forgot to officially apply to become a member. I'm so sorry. I'm following the newsletters of Euclid already from the beginning, and
they're great. Everyone should follow them.
Yes, it is. And I've been attending activities, and it was Krisigalov who used to be chair. And she was in panels on our conferences, and so there has been this, and it was like, oh my God, we are not officially member of Euclid. We have to take care of that. It was at the Social Enterprise World Forum in Amsterdam. It really dribbled down to me. We are not officially member, and let's do this. So really happy that we are a member now, and I hope we'll. You asked where do we see ourselves in 5 years? Of course, still a member of Euclid, and I really hope to interact a lot with the other organizations, and
we are so happy to have you. So excited for the future.
Yes. Same. Euclid nieces and nephews. Hey.